Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about how we can build effective agents using LangGraph and then CrewAI. So for both of these I used Grok, and then in the LangGraph I've also enabled the Langsmith Studio traced demonstration. So let's go to my GitHub repo. So as you can see, this is my GitHub repo where I have defined everything, all of this problem statement, what I've done, and then what every step is and what are the frameworks that we are defined. These are the links to my collab, and then what are the key features that we demonstrated in both of the collabs, and then this is where I'll be uploading the YouTube link that I am recording right now. These are a few of the references that our professor provided with us. So these I followed these, and then also used help from ChatGPT to generate code wherever I was getting issues. So let's start with the LangGraph and LangSmith API, using LangSmith API for tracing. So this is the first collab. So yeah, this is the LangGraph building agents with graph structures. So this is the part A of the assignment, building effective agents. So the objective of this collab is to build a LangGraph agent that can reason over question, determine if the food if a tool is required, or if we can using this we can also create our custom tools. I've also worked with that. I've seen videos of that too, and respond appropriately, showcase use tools, and then enable traceability with Langsmith Studio to inspect the flow between the agent nodes. I'll also demonstrate that in Langsmith after this. So these are the key concepts, and then the first thing that we do is setting up the environment variables, defining the tools, defining the agent state. The logic that we have: call model should continue, call tool generate final answer. And then this is the graph where we wire together the nodes and define the conditional edges based on the agent's output. So this is for that, and then we run the agent, understand the patterns. So let's start with the first step, which is nothing but the installation part, installation of LangChain, and then also LangGraph. Since we're using Grok here, I used LangChain Grok. And then we're also doing installation of DuckDuck Search Go. That is like a browser. It is similar to uh, all of these browsers that we have, but it is very secure. So it is for that. And then this is the first part where we're setting up, I mean, the second part where we're setting up the environment variables. This is where I have the Grok API key. Here I have the LangChain API key, and also the Langsmith project name that we have. So that and all our inputs over here. The next step is import, and then using DuckDuck Search Go, we have the description for that tool basically. And then this is the model that I'm using. I'm using the Llama 370-bit 8192, and then the LLM with tools, and then this is the agent. And in the agent I have different methods. So this is the call model, this is the call tool. So call model is nothing but invokes the LLM with the current state messages and bound tools. Call tool is nothing but it is for calling of the tools that uh, and it is based on the message that the user sent. So basically what it so whenever the user input is sent, the lang graph or like the model, the agent has to determine whether to use a particular tool or not. And if it has to use a tool, then it has to check what kind of a tool it wants to use. So this is for that. So basically we have all of this. So what kind of tool, no tool found, what kind of tool to be checked, and what tool to be sent considered. And then should continue is for if the user is expecting another message, or like if the conversation should be continued. So if it is done, then if the question is answered, then should continue should be set as false. But if user has a follow up, or if you feel like the user might have a next question, then should continue should be there, and then generate final answer. So this is the builder where we're defining the graph. So the first thing is we're adding two different we're adding the agent node, then the call tool, and the generate final answer. So this is the this is for that. This is for the chat template. So it is a what we're defining the functionality of the assistant. So you're a helpful assistant, use only the tool search if you absolutely need real-time data. and then the answer is general knowledge or something, then don't use the tool. All of that is done, and then so this is where we're running it. So my first question is, what is the weather like in Milpitas, California? So mm, the current weather in Milpitas, California is partly cloudy with a temperature of 16 degrees Fahrenheit and 16 degrees Celsius with a visibility of 9 miles. We get all of the weather parameters. And then I gave another question saying, what is the capital of France? So the capital of France is Paris. So that is the next question. And then this is for the interactive question block. So what this is the prompt that I sent. What is 8 times 10? And then the agent ran with the same question, and then it called the model. It didn't call the tool here, but yeah, you can see that the final answer is 80. So this is all about that, and this is my results that I have. Based on what results I got, I have created another text block for that. So you can see, let me open the line graph once. So yeah, this is the one. You can see this is the trace for that question, what is 8 times 10? You can see that the answer is uh, 80. Let's go back to another one. What is the capital of Paris? Yeah, I guess this is one of them. What is the current time? Okay, this is something I tried. Let me see. These are a few of the ones which I tried. Yeah, what is the current weather in Milpitas? So you can see it gave me such a big block. So from that, the AI got this block for me. Yeah, I tested with a few of them. I was facing a few issues before, but all of them were resolved. And this is in LangChain where I have the traces. This is all about using LangGraph. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Go back to the collab. So this is the second part where I'm doing CrewAI. So it is a simple modular framework for creating autonomous agent teams. So let me go to that collab. Open this in a new tab. So here we built equivalent flows like agent, task, crew, and then compose logic using modular roles and task prompt. So let us see. This is my collab for that. And then I still used Grok for this again. And then let's see, all of this is the introduction. Here we're using CrewAI, CrewAI tools, and then I also had to download Pydantic, DuckDuckGo search, importing everything over here. So this is my where I had to prompt my Grok API key. So this is the first step where I have to give the prompt researcher and then create the LLM chain and then write the agent is defined over here. So the first question I had was, what are the key concepts and recent developments in reflection tool use, planning for AI agents, etc. And then this is the final answer. The key concepts and recent developments in reflection tool use, planning, etc. etc. These are the points. So this is all of the answers that I got. And then I had another question saying, what is the highest mountain in the world and how tall is it? So all of the actions are done. The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest, and it is around 8,848 meters. So you can see that this is how we can use CrewAI to basically uh, patterns for like it is used in a chatbot. You can also implement like a chatbot functionality where you can like I did previously with the LangChain, the final thing that we did. So this is something that we can do. I just gave sample questions in the response itself, but you can also use prompts for that. So this is all about LangChain and CrewAI. So yeah, thank you. Oh, let me just go back to my GitHub and talk about this. So basically, this repository contains code, collabs, and the video walkthrough, whatever is done. And then we have the LangGraph definition, CrewAI definition, and then what each agent is doing, what is their in LangGraph and what is there in CrewAI. These are two my collabs. And then what are the key features developed over here. So yeah, you can follow these references for more information and replicate. Thank you.